In a world where this does pretty much anything you could hope for, why would you spend 500 of your hard-earned bucks on a separate GPS unit? The Zumo XT is Garmin's flagship motorcycle nav unit. It comes with a lot of advantages over using your phone as a navigation unit and, unfortunately, also a few disadvantages. First of all, in the box you get the Zumo XT itself, a universal handlebar mount with a power cable, a car mount if you want to use it in your car, and a charging cable. The installation of the Zumo is pretty straightforward. Garmin has a very nice video on their site on how to do this, and in the end, the cradle is very sturdy and does not vibrate or get loose even on bumpy terrain. The display on the XT is hands down the best I've seen so far. Its strongest selling point, 5.5 inches, extremely bright even under full sunlight, very crispy. Everything it displays is perfectly readable under any conditions. There is no point in having a good device if you can't see the screen when the sun is shining on it. It's also touch compatible with gloves. I tested this with different pairs, and you can also set your touch sensitivity. All good stuff. Now, being a cheapskate, I used my phone for a long time whenever I went on a tour where we had to navigate using a specific track, for example. And trust me when I tell you that phones aren't made to be used as all-day navigation devices. The moment they get hot, the screen dims a lot and it makes navigating a lot more difficult. Not to say that using one device for everything is very risky, since if I dropped my phone and broke its screen like I did on one of the tours, I was stuck looking at a bunch of dead pixels. So sometimes it's better to have different devices perform separate functions instead of just one that does it all. Risk management or risk sharing. The next thing Garmin didn't skimp out on is the processor they put in the Zumo. It is snappy fast. Yes, faster processors like the 4-core they put in here are more expensive, but at the end of the day, the user experience is worlds better. Everything is snappy, there is no lag when switching from one screen to the next. While scrolling, navigating menus, actually the only place where I noticed some lag was when choosing different map icons, but these seem to be like some sort of animations. So well done on going with a quality processor. I wouldn't expect anything less in 2020. The Zumo XT is Wi-Fi enabled, meaning that device updates or map updates can be done without actually connecting the device to a computer. Every time you switch it off, it will check and apply any updates it finds. This is what I call great user experience, and I'm glad they added a Wi-Fi chip in there. Speaking of updates, in the purchase price, lifetime access to map updates, real-time traffic, and bird's eye view topography are also included. With the unit connected to your smartphone through the Garmin app, the XT will get real-time traffic updates, although they are nowhere near as accurate as Waze or Google Maps, and also real-time weather updates. Connect your intercom system as well, and the XT becomes the hub of all that is music streaming, push notification, and phone calls. Another great tool for motorcycles is what Garmin calls adventurous routing, basically picking the most scenic route from point A to point B. When you get to your destination, if you have a hiking route as well, you can remove the XT from its cradle and use it as a handheld navigator. It works both in landscape and portrait modes, and the battery should last you around 5 to 6 hours if you don't crank the brightness up to max. The Zumo XT has a lot of different apps, as Garmin likes to call them, including the ability to organize a round trip, obviously follow and record tracks, compatibility with Garmin's inReach satellite communicators. Going through all of them would literally take hours, but for the most part, they are useful and their user experience is excellent. Alright, now stuff I didn't like or that Garmin could improve on. The XT is fully waterproof. I mean, you could submerge this in 1 meter of water for 30 minutes and it will be just fine, which means it could live on your bike indefinitely, in theory. Practically, it can't, because every time you stop at the shops, you have to take it out of its cradle, find a pocket, and bring it in with you, because there is no locking mechanism, and the last thing I want to do is leave a $500 piece of kit unlocked on my bike. I'm sure there's some sort of locking mechanism that could be implemented, and I wish they had done that. Which brings me to my second point. Garmin does make a pouch for the XT. It's 30 bucks, and for the 500 bucks the device costs, let's be serious, this is not a cheap device. I really wish they would have included it in the package. If I have to remove it from my bike every time I go to the shops because there's no locking mechanism, it's going to get damaged quite quickly if I don't keep it in a pouch. Thirdly, every time I turn the bike off, like at a gas station, the XT also switches off, which is good. My intercom then connects to my phone directly, it doesn't go through the XT anymore, and my music keeps on playing. All of this happens automatically. However, when I switch the bike back on, the XT also turns on, but it doesn't take over this connection, so I need to switch my intercom off and then on again. Small, softer stuff that could be improved upon. Notifications. The XT will push through any push notification you receive on your phone to the nav unit. This can be switched off if you don't want to be bothered with this info when you're riding, but the fact that the notification window, which takes out about a third of the screen, stays on there for a few good minutes before it disappears, means that if you leave this function on, you almost always have to press the little X to dismiss it, meaning taking your hands off of the handlebar. I wish they would behave like normal push notifications, come up, stay on there for 5 seconds, and then just disappear. So, all in all, a great piece of kit. Completely unnecessary if you only do short rides where you have full cell coverage. Your phone is more than sufficient for that type of riding. But if you venture out into the unknown, you need to follow a specific track, navigate offline, and obviously not put all your eggs in one basket by just using your phone for everything. The Zumo XT is the perfect partner in crime. There goes a notification. It's gonna stay there for long. If you own the Zumo XT, let us know what your experience using the nav unit has been like, and if you have any other questions, the comment section is your friend. Garmin was kind enough to supply us with a 15% discount code. Unfortunately, it's only for the Romanian Garmin store. They do deliver internationally, so check that out in the description if you're interested. Well, that's the show for today, everyone. If you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you think you've learned something new, consider subscribing or becoming one of our patrons to help us make more of these shows. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.